Hello, I'm Dennis Danzik, and welcome inside the physics lab here at our laboratories in Scottsdale, Arizona for episode 4 in this series, also entitled Marie 4. And I'm going to take you through this device, and as always, we have our clock here. I have a reciprocal camera up here so that you can see. It's at a little bit of an angle so that we can point out a couple of things. And I'm going to go through the parts of Marie 4. We built this device back in late 2018 so that we could show how little energy it was to get how little energy it is. And I'm going to provide that little bit of energy to get Marie 4 rolling here. This is just a urethane flywheel. I've got a razor blade here. Nothing spectacular about it. You'll see as I spin it, this handle moves randomly. It will spin in both directions. It is not magnetically levitated. It, again, is just for demonstration purposes. So if you just give me a second here. I'm going to go ahead and wipe the wheel down. We do this with each process, so that we don't have any inherent dust on the device. And I'm also going to wipe out the fuel block here that we're using. Okay, here we're off and running now. I'll give you, again, the flywheel. Nothing special about that. 40 pounds of urethane connected to a shaft that you can see here, and there's just a base bearing under here, very, very simple. And this is our attenuator, which you can see. Again, we protect our geometry. In other words, you don't know what this looks like. This is charged, by the way. This entire drum has a permanent magnetic charge to it. All the way around. I'll give you a quick tour of that. Okay. Quick tour of that all the way around. It is magnetically hot. And of course, the attenuator is also a permanent magnet all the way around, as you can see. So we protect that geometry, what those are shaped like, and what the fields obviously project. And we protect the geography, how it's laid out between the two systems to get this paired permanent magnetic field. And with that, we'll get started. The first thing that you have to learn about on the Marie 4 device is the point of entropy. And again, that's our nomenclature. And in the reverse camera, I'm going to be able to roll around. It's this big red dot here. And I'm going to roll it around for this other camera. So it's this large red dot. And that point of entropy is where we collide one field, a north with a south. So if I hold this steady, I'm going to hold the attenuator steady and I roll it around. Oh, didn't quite make it. I'm going to give it a little bit more energy. So right there it hits that point and it's going to go back. And I'm going to leave the attenuator off. And it's going to come around the point of entropy again. It's going to stop and it's going to reverse. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. Unlike any other engine, let's say a gas, diesel, or electric motor, we need more air, more fuel, more amperage voltage to get the engine or motor, if you prefer, to accelerate. Not with magnetic propulsion. Again, we're going to weaken the field. We're going to weaken the paired permanent magnetic field. And that's how we're going to get it to rotate. When it comes around the point of entropy, we're going to put it back in its original position. Then we're going to begin the process again. I'm going to be the computer. I'm going to act as the computer today and control this. And I've got the control here. So now if I attenuate this, now what happens is I have pressure. Okay, and the engine will start on its own. So we'll let it go. Say I've got it attenuated. There's absolutely no other energy going into that except magnetic force, not an energy, magnetic force. Point of entropy, I lower it, I bring it back up. And I'm going to show you that I'm not doing all that work. I say, well, you're doing the work. That is true. I'm manipulating this magnetic field which is allowing that to accelerate each and every time. But keep in mind, let's say that I wanted to produce useful power for this. Well, I could put an alternator or a generator on top there. Heck, even a little bicycle generator, this would spin. And I could produce electricity for a battery, for a capacitor. Let's say that I was in the US military and I was a Marine out on a forward base. I could fill this with water, rocks, sand, increase the moment of inertia. In other words, make it harder to stop and produce more energy. I'm going to produce that energy by storing it in the flywheel, okay, and then releasing it to the alternator or generator when I feel that I've got it going fast enough. Remember, the amount of energy that I store in the flywheel is dependent on its speed, its diameter, and its mass related to how much it weighs, and of course that is in that particular order. So you can see that I've got it going. Now what's interesting about magnetic propulsion is it's going to do half of the work on its own. In other words, this it wants to do. So all I got to do is pin it at its bottom point. I'll do this as efficiently as I can. Obviously I'm a human being, but I'll let it go. And you can see it's completely random. We'll just let that go by itself for a minute, just so that you can see that there's no controlling it unless I control it. And will it slow down at this point? Yes, because I'm not controlling that attenuation. I'm not allowing the engine to hit its perfect spot. Just like with an internal combustion engine. If I hit it perfectly, now I'm going to go ahead and start doing it again. And remember, it's doing this part on its own. All I have to do is bring it back up. Let's let it go. And by hand, I can get this up to about 75, 80 RPM. As you can see, it's moving right now quite a bit. See if we can get it up to about 60. It accelerates very quickly when you have it timed right. I've obviously got a lot of practice doing this, and it does take some practice. But again, if I had a pin on this, I could then really let it go around, pin it back, pin it back, pin it back, pin it back, and I'm still going to get acceleration out of the deal. So there we go. I'll let it go. Again, this is completely randomized. There's nothing controlling this unless I'm controlling it like a computer, which you're going to see other photon engines controlled via computer when we go on to episodes 5, 6, and beyond. So there we go. There's Marie 4. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you understand the point of entropy. That red dot on there is where the two poles, north and south, collide. That's the highest chaos point in the system. That's why we call it the point of entropy. And of course, entropy is going to start to devour this because I'm not controlling it. It's going to slow down. Occasionally it'll hit, you know, like right there and get a little bit of an acceleration. But as you can see, it's completely random. Hope you enjoyed that. This engine is, of course, here for you to operate. You can come in and play around with it, see how it works when you're on a tour. And of course, everything we do here is out in the open. We don't edit these videos. If I have a little bump along the way, we just let it go, okay? So we appreciate it. That's the end of this episode, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.